Promo Insiders, an ASI Media podcast covering the topics that matter most to the promotional products industry. I'm Sarah Lewandowski, Executive Director of Client Education and Content, and today I'm joined by Susan Lewandowski, Managing Director at BEL Promo and Counselor's 2024 Woman of Distinction. Congratulations, Susan. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It's quite an honor. Quite an honor.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you. Thanks for having me.
for sure. So how did you get your start in promo? Give us a little overview of that.
Well, that's kind of fun. Well, I started with ASI
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
34 years ago, started with
Amazing.
ASI in supplier sales,
Mm-hmm.
selling, print, counselor magazine, media file pages, working with suppliers, bringing them into the industry, helping them grow in the industry, and then transcended in some special projects for Norman and Chris, and then did the show, ASI show for many years, and then changed some different companies, and here I am.
Amazing. So what was it like in the early days of show? Like when you started, you helped launch those. What was that like back in those days?
Well, okay, remember it's a disruptor, right? It was like, oh my gosh, ASI is getting into the show business. A fax goes out, next thing you next thing you know, it's all like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. It was fun, exciting, scary. Literally, we had 6 weeks to launch a show.
Wow.
Yeah, it was March, and then yeah, pretty
Wow.
crazy. So it was really a lot of fun. I mean, I had the honor of working with Matthew was, just that in itself was pretty amazing. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that I got that experience, got to work alongside him. It was fun to see something from nothing, right? You're selling booth space closed. Now you're trying to make sure companies come. Like you have to make sure that they're actually going to show up. So it
Right.
was, targeting all those distributors, inviting them to come, the proposition value, like, why do you want to do this?
Mm.
And then getting there, and then, it's like on the show, it's like setup is crazy, right? It looks a mess, right? But then you come in the next day and it's transformed into this beautiful experience. So it was a lot of fun. It was pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in a few ways, how has the industry changed since you started?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, there's digital, there's internet, there was none of that. It was strictly, there wasn't even computers on your desk, right? So it was getting on the phone, it was making a lot of phone calls. It's getting on the phone, talking to people, building relationships that way, going to one show a year, maybe if you're lucky. Um, but it was a lot different. There wasn't private equity, there wasn't companies weren't merging, there's no acquisitions, things like that. So it's a lot different, but very much the same now.
Mm-hmm. And also, eh, so you're now Bell Promo. How does how does Bell Promo differentiate itself in the industry, and what do you love most about working at Bell?
Oh wow, I love working at Bell. I mean, it was proposition is that we're different, right? Um I tried to make it so that we would be easy to work with. Um and every day is a challenge, right? We've had some things we've had to overcome over since I've started. We've had reputational issues, right? We People, didn't trust us, didn't want to work with us. So coming on was scary, right? It was like,
Mm,
wow, this is going to be a lot of fun, but how are we going to get, from, you know, 2 stars with ASI to 5 stars, right? How are we going to rebuild and rebrand ourselves that people are going to want to trust us?
mhm.
So that was the exciting part, right? And I'm used to working for I mean, I worked for ASI. We had controversy, right? There was always somebody was always like, okay, up against PPS. So there was always a conflict, right?
Mm,
There was always disruption. So I was used to that. So that part seemed easy to me, right? I can handle that. Um, and so then it was just kind of figuring out how to do that. And, we just customer focus became our number one goal. I mean, we knew we had, product, we knew we had inventory, but we knew where we were struggling. We were struggling in customer service. So we were struggling with our brand. And
mhm,
so really started to focus on, okay, how do we do this? When I came in, the department was much different than it is today. There was different divisions in the department. Nobody, it was like, okay, I handle claims. I don't have to get on the phone. It's like, no, you got to get on the phone. Everybody gets on
mhm,
the phone. And
mhm,
then and as things would escalate to me, it was, okay, so I really wanted to empower my customer service team. I'm like, you guys can make the same decision I'm making. Every supplier in the industry has the exact same things go wrong. We miss enhanced dates, things get lost, imprints come off, things break, right? That's pretty much, we're all rated on the same things, even with ASI. So once I
Mhm.
said, okay, how do we make this easy? It was like, okay, I'm going to empower my teams to ask the questions. What do you need? What does this customer need? What do you need to do for the distributor to make sure that he gets what he needs? There's no lag time. There's nothing like that. So I really tried to make it very simple and easy to work with us. Then I
Mhm.
made it, 12-piece minimums in every product. There's, Spire doesn't have 12 pieces. I mean, 12 stress balls, 12 pets, doesn't matter, 12 pieces. So again, tried to figure out ways that we could help to build it so it's easy to trust us, right? Give us a try, 12 pieces, things like that. Make it easy to work with us. Do simplify, but just a lot of things I felt like were difficult sometimes. I wanted to make easy.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
we just targeted specific distributors and we brought them in, we brought them down. And one of the things I do is I bring distributors in. We pay for them, we put them up for the night, we take them to dinner, and we bring them every tour. We let them see exactly what this place looks like.
Mhm.
And how amazing it's completely paperless. It's the technology that we have is far above anything else that you're going to see out there. So we've made it very simple, very easy to work with us. So I think that's really what the thing is. It's just, and once I started doing that, and once people started coming in, and then once customer service was answering phone calls, taking really showing that they cared, every year we got a little bit better.
Mhm. Mhm. What makes this, I mean, you've been in this industry a long time. You've seen a lot of different aspects to it. What makes promo in particular such a special industry?
It's the relationships. You know, I don't know an industry, and I talk to friends who do trade shows who are out there. They're not friends with the person next to them in the booth.
Mm.
They're not,
Mhm.
they don't, I mean, the first thing that ever was the most, it's like you walk into a show. I think the first one I went to was PPA, and I walk in and I've only been there, what, maybe 6 months. But I'm
Mhm.
working with customers, and all of a sudden I'm like seeing them and they're hugging me.
Yeah.
But, that camaraderie, that friendship, the wanting to everybody be successful.
Mhm.
The booth next to you is your competitor, but you're not, you're your friend. So I think that's what's the uniqueness that I think that's why it's kept its, wholesale, reseller, end user uh, platform. I mean, there aren't many industries now that are still doing a reseller, right?
Right.
They're still
Mhm.
commission based. It's, they're making, so I think that's part of it. I think it's just once you get in, it's like it's fun.
Mhm. Mhm. And what's the secret, would you say, to success in this industry that you found over the years?
Got to work hard. You gotta have the conversations. You've got to adapt with what's going on. You've got to adapt to the change, from working with, a computer, just I think just that piece of it and having just getting out there and talking to people.
Mhm. Mhm.
I do. I think that's and the authenticity, the transparency. I think there's a lot of that there in this industry that, might not be in other industries.
Mhm.
I mean, I think it's
Interesting.
just, and I think having companies like ASI, PPAI, all the other service providers that are elevating it so it to the supplier, it makes it easier to do business, right? There's so many different ways now that we can reach the distributor or we can reach the end user through the distributor, right? So I think that's really, giving us the tools that we can to be successful.
Mhm. Mhm. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Susan. We appreciate your time today. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's quite an honor. Thank you very much.
Of course. And for more coverage of our 2024 awards winners, please head to asicentral.com/news. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.